don't see why not.
Good, you are here. Clario has made good on his promise. We are making ready to free your ship. I say still that you are fortunate. The ship was nearly lost, but it will float. For how long, I cannot say. You will wish to find a friendly port with some speed, I think. So you will go to the great Kahanga city as well. You must sail north for some time, and then a little east. Take care in Nekitaka, outsider. It will close its jaws around you, and you will never notice. Come, we will see your defiant out to sea.
We should address the matter of our ship's resources before we get underway. It saddens me to inform you that we lost several crew and most of our provisions during the storm. However, Port Margé appears to be well supplied, and I expect the recent disaster has left several sailors in want of a ship. I suggest we contract for additional supplies and crew before we return to open water, or our voyage may indeed be a short one.
Ador, Water of Cadnor. On behalf of the Principes and Patrina, I must request we meet in parley. Agrassim. I will make this quick. I have heard some marvelous tales regarding your ventures in the Deerwood. In fact, you are the first dragon slayer I have ever met, outside of a grave. Some fools would seek to make a fortune by pilfering from one such as you.
He's done his research. Might as well hear him out.
I believe you have met such a fool. Captain Benweth of the Drake. Voksen of Ubilnet Merla. Careful, ship hunter. Mind that you do not confuse a useful skill set for a non-expendable one. My apologies. Rest assured, it will not happen again.
Apologies, Captain. Didn't mean it, really. We're up all night, you know, searching out our friend here. You've been at sea a while. Your mind starts playing tricks on you, aye? Well, mine plays tricks on others, too. Usually don't mean much. Maybe see a bit of shadow, hear a bit of tune. Not unless the person's sensitive. Like, say, a watcher.
Ah, the short-sighted scoundrel has been wreaking havoc in the area for months. He is no son of Velia. I do not fault his ancestry, but he disregards too much the grand heritage we Principi represent. Benweth is the second most selfish captain within the Principi's newest generation. He risks all that we value. We are descended from refugees who fled during Old Valia's decline. They sailed the eastern reach to the Deadfire, but they did not settle the islands. Today, even, our shipboard life continues. Perhaps I have said too much. This is a problem solely of my own, for now. Few pirates retire comfortably, Emika. We sink and we hang or we burn. We must replace our losses, excepting from many regions, including the Deadfire. This is the first you are hearing of us, truly. We are a magnificent but largely landless people, so we have come to own the sea. To survive, we must seize prosperity where we can. Hence, we are oft labeled as pirates, smugglers, merchants of illicit trade, or mercenaries. It will not always be so, but it is for now. Benweth is no captain of mine, Aimika. It is not beneath my flag his Drake sails. Yet I do seek to temper his actions when they would endanger the Principe altogether. Are you saying if we rile you, you will pose no threat to us? Così, pardon if I do not believe you, Dragon Slayer. Word of Benweth's raid on the Defiant will spread throughout the Deadfire. More fools will seek to prey upon you. I would suggest you stave off all others by making an example of Benweth.
For Auntie's, for do my job for me, friend. Hope you don't die in the effort.
I will be honest with you, Aimika. I do not favor Benweth, nor do I care for the company he keeps. Such fools and scoundrels serve only to tarnish the Principe's reputable name. But I believe you will be capable of setting him straight. I am a gentleman, of course, and I am certainly not a fool. Of course, Amika. Work with me, and I will weight your pockets with gold. When you have dealt with my problem, I will prepare a fine welcome for you at my port. Now, a tip for you. Benweth's Drake took damage during the storm. Eventually, he will need to dock for repairs, and when he does, Seraphin can find him for you. He is rather an unrefined creature, but he is a most skilled ship hunter, I assure you.
Unrefined? Begging your pardon, Captain, but I'd be the high fucking model of the gentleman of fortune. As for Benweth, that sucker of squid tits be as predictable as the tide. I'd wager all my furriest bits that he'd set sail for Deadlight.
That would be felicitous indeed, as I believe the traitor Remaro hides there as well. I quite enjoy killing 2 men with a single bullet.
Wouldn't have even thought of it if you hadn't brought it up, sir. Now, I ain't hardly in any hurry to leave the fine company of the gentlemen of leisure, but the captain be right about me finding your mark. Adding to that, you sail into Fort Deadlight not knowing your innies from your outies. You might very well find the locals cannon fucking your boat to sodden splinters.
What venture does not require an investment to be prosperous? The Seraphin is an allowance, which I expect you will return, in one payment or another.
Oh, you won't be regretting this, Watcher. At least so long as you keep us heavy in grog and light on the onions. Ugh, them dirty shit apples ain't never agreed with me, and I'll be suspecting they never will.
He's not sleeping near my berth, I promise you that much.
I sail now for Dunwich, my own safe port. I will await you there, should you be successful in schooling our wayward captain.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once. You are alone. And then, you are not. An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Bareth, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Bareth settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the Beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face,
as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodica strides forward.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys' influence once before, and yet he returned.
Are you winning? Strange question.
From out of Wodica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face.
Just say yes.
He does not speak,
If you say so.
but stares up at Wodica, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wodica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the pallid night from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Wodica throws her head back and laughs. The sound is a dry, rasping bark.
Andra could do with a new act. Her current one has grown rather stale.
They see to their own affairs. You will speak to them in time, should you have the need.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide. Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wedica suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who killed Lord Harren, the man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Your point is well made, little Watcher. If self-evident, Aethys has not been known to possess a vindictive nature. Indeed, he has occasionally been magnanimous to a fault. However, if we push him to the brink of reason, there is no telling what he may do. He is, as ever, unpredictable.
Something akin to fondness creeps into her voice. The Pallid Knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Magran grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Magran stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
Worika waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys, other than decisive, final action.
Your opinion is unasked for, but noted. We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin, alone. On it.
Steady does it. I've got it.
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see. This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple. Tell me what's on your mind? We talking during the Saints' War, or after he died? Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died. And I think a part of him did, the part he'd most closely woven into living flesh, the part that represented life, and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with Obsidian rot and falling away. That which is death. Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening. I'm glad we talked.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi. She means well. I can see that. And she's spirited, and if I was still young and didn't know the things I know, it'd be different. But anybody got that much faith in any god, let alone Aethys? I don't know how to talk to someone like that. Not these days. I get why she's like that. And I was there once, long time back. But it's 'cause of that I can't see a way to respect it. I'm no good at hiding it from her either. I don't see this getting better. All right. I'm not gonna hide it. Won't be pretty, though.
Thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others. I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative. I'm working against one of the most secretive organizations in all of Aora. One with a rather troubled history as far as animancy is concerned. That's not the sort of thing one shares with new friends. Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity. After we parted, I set out to destroy the Leaden Key. It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it. So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret, trying to undo them. The task has been more difficult than I anticipated. I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make, or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations. Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Valia, a run-down backwater of a place. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition. At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt. The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos. He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too. So I arranged for him to have an accident. The old man died, and the villagers were terrified. They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith. So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little. Instead of a handful dying each year, a few perished every week. I had to do something, didn't I? I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better. I suppose so. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about.
Hey, this brings back some memories, huh? I want the destruction to stop. I want him to finish what he's doing and then go in peace. Only I don't see it playing out that way. If you like. I like that feeling, knowing we'd stop Theos. We were part of something big. That was something I never felt before. Not even at war. Guess I went looking for it again. Not that I wanted to tangle with gods, but something smaller. Something I thought I could manage. There was that little town, Deerford, we passed through. Got hit real hard by the legacy. I went in and asked their mayor if I could help. And he was real friendly. But then it turned out he was in that Scanite cult they have over there. When I wasn't looking, he tried to knock me out with a garden hoe. Guess he wanted to drain my blood or gouge out my eyes with rocks or whatever it is they do. Didn't ask. Anyway, I came out of his house carrying his head and, well, I got to be mayor after that. They didn't even want to do an election. I said, if you're sure, and they all nodded, kinda quick-like. Some of it I was good at. Welcoming people. Getting them to settle there, keeping order. But there were other things I had no head for. Negotiating, settling arguments, saying the right things. I think I made a difference, but plenty of folks got hurt along the way. And I don't know if that was something we could have avoided, or if it was the cost of trying to fix things. If you like. The air's different. Especially compared to Gilded Vale, where there's more livestock than shovels. Sounds different, too. You wake up to all those bird calls, it really does sound like they're making music. If the birds woke you in Gilded Vale, it was usually a couple crows making the most horrible mating noises you ever heard. Strange thing is, I still get this feeling in me like I wish I was home.
Ahoy, Captain. Truth be told, Ferrante half expects us to get our asses blown out of the water at Fort Deadlight. Fortunately for you, I have this bad habit of beating the odds. Of course, I do that by way of good old traditional chicanery. And the most important part of any hornswoggle? Solid planning. Well, that and surviving. Oh, you be asking me for a plan. Frankly, I were curious to witness how the famed Watcher of Cad Nua would penetrate the impenetrable. But since you asked, just give me a tick. Vast. I might have pulled a plan out of this hairy blue ass after all. Way I see it, we have an option or two ranging from the wildly dangerous to the fantastically suicidal. So tell you me, Cap, what be your preferred approach to problems unapproachable? Smart play for crashing any party involves scavenging yourself up an invite, and then dressing to impress. No, Captain, they do not. Looking the part in this case means hoisting colours identifying us as Principe. Don't have to tell you how dangerous such a bit of fabric can be if the wrong person catches you flying it. Well, Principe captains don't just give up their flags for a few coins. Neketaka's black market. If there be a Principe flag for sale, it'll be there. Mark it up and relocates every so often to avoid the Royal Guard. We'll just have to find wherever it currently be anchored. Aye, Captain. Looking forward to watching you work. Not to be telling you your business, Cap, but if we don't set sail for Deadlight, Benweth will finish his repairs and pull anchor. Oh, I did say contacts, didn't I? Contact would be more accurate, in the singular. A lass by the name of Siri. Been running the same circles for years, doldrums and fair winds. We're never family, but never on the wrong ends of arms, neither. Might have shaken the sheets a few months back. Regardless of how she feels about me, there's no love lost betwixt her and Benwith, that's for damn certain. Yeah, she's sharp as shit, that one. Tongue, mind, and ears alike. Sailed out of Deerwood or Adir one. Knows her knots, and how to crew a ship that won't turn sour. But words ring out among the Principe, more than you'd think for new blood. Part of that's her fierce support of freedom, from slavers, from the empires, from Juana's caste system even. The rest a lenient hand. Step out of line and Ferrante's got your old crew up for lashes. Aldis, though, she's, let's say there's a reason she attracts limp-cocked nut twists like Benwith. Can't say I much approve of a lack of regard for our traditions, but, can't say I don't share her vexations with Ferrante and the old guard, neither. Shit, Captain. Buy a lad a drink before you go rooting through his unmentionables. Let's leave it enough for now to say I think there be a course to be charted betwixt anarchy and tyranny. Later, sure. No hurry here to ship off back to the Gentlemen of Leisure.
Agrasima, Casita, for taking me on.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
Why do we gotta be farmers just because we're from Deerwood?
Are you a farmer?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers, too.
I'm the harbor master, Kaoha. I must ask your reason for docking in Nekataka. Is that so? Well, Andra told me to protect the harbor, and Wodika herself signed the order. They would have had Gallowayne do it, but he was sick this morning.
Show them what you are.
I've heard enough. There's no room for you in Nekataka Harbor. Get back on your ship and head back to open sea.
I will help you.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
Everybody saw that, right? It wasn't just me.
Uh-huh.
Will do.
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something more delicate? If you have a frame, I can fit cloth to it without fuss. Take your time. I'll give you space to browse.
Of course. Hey. Yeah, I got it.
Nice and slow.
I've got it. Huh?
Ah, a new face in the Valera halls. Courtly manners are welcome here. My time is not inexhaustible, but I am willing to spare it. What can I do for you? Valera ships escort goods and merchants from island to island across Deadfire. The Principe dogs show us their stern whenever they spot Valera colors on the horizon.
Leave it to a swabby from the Republics to think a pirate showing them their rear be a compliment.
Well, as long as I don't get cut, guess I wasn't so...
Please, pray for me.
What do you need? Keep it down. Of course. Yeah? You sure? Well, don't see why not. What do you need? Hey.
Ahoy. Captain, aye, aye. Ahoy.
Aloth, is there any way you can bring Islamir back?
The whole point of suppressing her was to keep her out of my head.
I miss her impressions. Oh, if she could do this one of you.
Which she did over and over.
Was real good, though. She could do all your twitching, your squeaky voice when you got nervous.
Gone shepherds us all, traveler. Woe to those who labor in the shadow along the sacred stair. Nothing is hidden from Aethys' divine sight.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rawatayans.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
Shh. Keep your voices down, my cullies.
I don't have a voice for shanties these days. Too much...
Do you enjoy coin, my friend? Can you lift a sword?
Keeping it up.
Where in the blazes is that old man? Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead. Andra's crushing void, I thought as much. Listen, the guy I'm looking for owes me a lot of money. 5,000 coppers. You help me find him, and I'll give you 20%. I can't thank you enough. No one's been willing to so much as tell me the date until you came along. The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur. Come find me after you've talked to her. I'll be here, with my beer.
Hail and welcome to the Wild Mare, friend. Now, what can I do for you? You see anything you like, you let me know.
What fly?
Myron Solus from the Hello, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually. Not yet, but I know that we will be fast friends. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Ak? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Ak? I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for... 1,000 times I practiced my speech. Mera, never did it go this poorly. Agrasima, do you know what my problem is, Amika? I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them. No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Ak? You will take the job? You will take the job. Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then. I will start you on Marian, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will. My contact saw her leaving Port Maje and heading west of Maje Island. Agrasima, you have but to ask. And I'm still scrounging together the coin for your next mission. When you have the head of our latest mark, I will be ready, Ak. It is true that I have stumbled in my career path. Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success. It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company. It drains the stamina, my friend.
You
See
should
something
see
you
this.
like? Aloth, this is the last place I expected to see you. Have your interests changed so much since our time at Bragon Hill?
No, I still enjoy tile puzzles and deflecting personal questions. Anyway, what are you doing here?
I could ask the same of you. I make my own hours, meet fascinating people, and the coin's nothing to sneer at. Better than stuffy old books and unflattering robes. It's good to see you again, Aloth. Anyway, I should get back to it.
It was lovely seeing you. Perhaps lovely is too strong a word. I meant pleasant. Perfectly agreeable. I can see where I may have confused the poor fellow in our academy days.
Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested. I suppose. I was raised in the Adir Empire. When I was young, I studied to be an arcane knight. After an incident at my school, I left the continent and wandered until I found myself in Nikotaka. As you can see, I stayed. A handful of my fellow students got up to a bit of mischief that ended with several people dead. Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested. Till later, then.
Will do.
Aye, aye, aye.
Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my favorite poet, Skilba. I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave. If I knew a man named Oswald, and if that man was in danger, I would still decline to be involved. Now, is there something else I can do for you? Oh, her. Yes, she is persistent, isn't she? She barged in and began asking me all sorts of inappropriate questions about my customers. She grew incensed when I asked her to leave. She's no longer welcome in my room. I do hope she's not a friend of yours. Her manners are atrocious. I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave. How dare you? Oswald has visited oft of late. He's a sentimental old man, and he longs for the words of our homeland, Adir. I would often read the old epics to him in their original Eldadiran. He's grown paranoid recently, however, always muttering about the shadows following him and other such nonsense. It was quite unnerving, frankly. He came to me in a panic a few days ago and shoved his journal into my hands. He told me he'd be back for it, but I've not seen hide nor hair of him since. I wonder, perhaps his journal would help you find him. Here, take this key. You'll find the journal in my armoire.
Aye. Aye.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget. I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this. Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult. It demands strength, but we cannot always be strong. I help those who have lost their strength to find it again.
Yeah? What do you... Don't see what... Sorry, friend. I can't.
Come to seek ablutions for your sins? Get it? Ablutions? Absolution? Ha! I crack myself up. Gets me every time. Massage? Bath? Whatever you need. Just ask. Oh, you don't want to hear about that. I lived a boring life, so there wouldn't be much to the telling. Truth be told, my real passion is pottery. Trouble is, I got these big hands. Ha! Not meant for delicate work. Worked out in the end, of course. Now I specialize in relieving tension in the Mauer and death godlike. I guess I can't hide my feelings as well as I thought I could. The stability's good and all, but I haven't seen anything that gets my blood pumping in ages. You know what I mean? Doing the same old thing day in, day out. It's enough to make a man leap from the nearest window. Where to? No kidding. I like to see something like that for myself. Do you think I could come with you? Just for a bit? Hell, you don't have to tell me twice. Yeah? Need something? Why not?
Have you got any leads on that mad old goat yet? Oh, Oswald, you really stepped in it now, haven't you? Getting mixed up with Woodikins? You damned old fool. Where could they have taken him? Not really. To be honest, I spent most of the trip out from Defiance Bay bent over the bulwark giving Andra a taste of my innards. I hate boats. Damn, if only I could find that captain who gave us passage to the Deadfire. Bet he'd know. Wait a tick. When our ship neared Nekataka, the bosun told me about a weird temple on an island in the Karatapu Channel, southwest of the city. She wouldn't tell me what it was for, though. Got real spooked when I asked. Go take a look then, and let me know what you find. With any luck, you'll catch the old goat there in one piece, and we'll both leave here with some weight in our purse.
Ahoy, Captain. If I could bend your ear a moment, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me aboard. You run a tight shop, and you ain't no terrible person either. It'd be a welcome change from the gentleman of leisure. The gentleman is only the finest ship among the Principi, and Captain Ferrante our most respected shipmaster. It were 2 honors and a half to be chosen to join his crew. Aye, you ain't wrong. Joining the gentleman meant leaving the sorcerer, leaving the only family I've ever known. I never knew no kin till the sorcerer. They be my salt family. And to me, that'd be better far than blood. And don't sell yourself a Suole shortcap, nor me neither. I know an opportunity when I bought it. I'd seen what there were to be seen upon the gentleman, learn what ropes were to be learned. Methinks a watcher after a dead god will thrust me into an whole new set of eye-openings. And believe you me, I do appreciate myself a good thrust. I've a gift for you. This trinket be from one of the first ships I hunted. Malnage would have snatched it had I not found the perfect hiding spot. You be entirely welcome. Now, if you'll pardon me, I've roundabout reached my limit for sentiment.
That's something.
Why not?
If you are here about the taxes, tell the Queen... Oh, you are not the tax collector. What business brings you to my mill? Okay? You go around asking just anyone in Queensbirth personal questions, maybe you end up dead in a ditch. Have caution, eh? Lucky for you, I am a woman of honor. I direct luminous milling for the Valian Trading Company. It's a nice job, huh? And I'm quite good at it. You want to know more? Buy me a drink first, per guano. We mill luminous, of course. Take big chunks, break into smaller chunks, crush into dust-sized chunks. Per con plank and net, it is really not so complicated. Good day.
Need something? Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
What have you been up to, Aloth, since we left Twin Elms?
Oh, quite a lot. I've been around the Eastern Reach, traveled to Old Valia.
That right? Well, who took you there?
I'm perfectly capable of traveling on my own, you know.
Of course I know that. Just never seen it is all.
Well, as long as I don't get caught.
Well, that's not nice. Guess that wasn't so hard.
Hey.
Hey. Uh-huh.
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face. How might I assist you? Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so. If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous. It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself. But I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you? I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me. You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense. I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire. Someday. Do you mean it? This is... wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters. Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, Anika. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island? I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Mage. There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet. Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful. Welcome back, welcome back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope. How might I assist you? Sometimes. Married to the work, you know? I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning. Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that. He always hogs the blankets. You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he? He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea. Certainly, certainly. It would be my pleasure. Of course, it's mostly books and knickknacks. Maps I do on commission, you see.
Yeah? I got it. If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean. All real nice of you to share. Someday I'll have to get you a gift. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one. But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Thought you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me. Well, that's why I mention it. Sometimes it's been anything but. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path? Well, hard to argue with that. And I might get some strange looks if I did. When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church. Yeah, I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should. You pray to him, he might help you too. There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question. Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen? I suppose that's true. Not really a point in Aethys' favor, though. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
Where is my postinago of a brother? You there, have you met Dico? Where is that spoiled brat? Laro is past due for a company meeting. Mother wants me to drag the elusive louse back by his ear.
Must be nice to be a layabout. Uncle Angbert would have tanned my hide.
Fuck. I am angry and jealous in equal measure. You'd think this district was a maze, the way he manages to hide. The spirit magnet. Sientere, that I did not recognize you. If you desire to get in the graces of the Valiant Trading Company, we can help each other. Could I persuade you to watch out for Laro? I'd pay generously for your trouble. I'm concerned, because Laro tends to feud with Orso, one of the local Valero rats. The Valeras. A brood of sea vermin playing at nobility. We squabble and compete, but Laro, the postinago, takes it too far. Would you? I'll be waiting at the estate in case he happens to return. Laro and his miscreant friends carouse at the tavern, the falls above the Adra Mill, and the southwestern bridge. If you see him, tell Laro to get his good-for-nothing ass back home.
Well, we do have this thing with chasing a rogue god to the ends of Aora, but I guess if it's on the way.
Newcomer. I thought you might visit. Lady Izali Bardato. Custom dictates, I say, at your service. But I have not the time for such lies. If you have business with House Bardato, then speak on. Are you still with me? I'd venture that you're working too hard. Ugh. My bank shoulders the cost of the Valian Trading Company's operations in the Deadfire. It is said that no Valian may wipe themselves unless a Bardato signature approves it first.
If that's true, we gotta stop shaking hands with them.
I'm certain you've touched worse, farmhand.
Well, as long as I don't get caught. I guess I will. Yeah, sure. Yeah?
Have you Shame I won at that animacy trial.
You both attest that you have made all possible efforts to come to a peaceful...
Who is this Nasenale? How many cousins do you have or so?
Postenago. Does that look like any cousin of mine?
How should I know? Your kin lie with eels.
We have business. What do you want? The family keeps you on a tight leash, lad. Will getting impaled on a Valera blade prove something?
What's your words, Oaf? You want the Juana to know we're dueling?
My bad so to the tribals. We should be free to settle matters on Valiant terms.
Small wonder the old empire collapsed in civil strife if this is the Valian way.
And how do your colonies fare, Adira?
This street thug called my family a warren of corrupt inbreds. But is there a dung heap in all the world that does not have a little Valera cousin scratching through it?
That wolf he calls mother would have us live out our days polishing Bardato silver.
Nothing less than the total disgrace of the Valeras would satisfy me.
Then you will die unfulfilled. I was the one who suggested fisticuffs, but you were eager to cut me open.
To first blood, then. Shall we resume?
Vidorio! Another scar for your collection. Of course. I let Orso's poisonous insults waylay me again.
Enjoy this moment, Bardato. I will see your satisfaction turn to ashes.
Come, we will toast to Vidorio at the estate. Also, try to remember your place next time.
Care for a fish or two, stranger? Today's catch, ripped straight from the hands of the salty wench. You'll find no fresher. Have a look.
Welcome! Venturing out past the city. You'll want supplies, crab traps or the like for larger game, I warrant. Of course.
Hey, good thinking. Something I can do? Sure.
Dora must be with you in just a... Almost had it. Damn your eyes. Hazard of the work, really. Came in on the sloop? I can hammer your ship together if you're apt to pay me for it. Aye. Captain Redora hasn't paid me for her commissioned firepower. While I'm up to my nose in debt, the wild mare gobbles up her coin. And now, pirates are holding my feet to the fire over some sham of a deal. If I don't get Redora's payment, I might as well start carving my swallow net. You do that? A fair price goes without saying, Cully. It all comes down to blasted pans and pyres in the end, doesn't it? Well, come take a look.
The Hazanui is at the palace, blaming the Valians for attacking one of their ports.
Well, did they?
Of course not. But the Queen must calm them down before they go to war over it.
Well met, stranger. Akira, but isn't this district a fine place? I am not one meant to venture far from the gullet. Until recently, I had a respectable job at the Luminous Bathhouse. Now that I am unemployed, I seek to make myself useful before the money runs out, and I must return to the Roparu as a pauper. More happens at the bathhouse than cleanliness and ease. It is a place of meetings, business, and transactions, to all of which the attendants are either blind or deaf. One day, I overheard more than I ought to have. In my erring, I gasped. To my great shame, I showed a most unprofessional reaction before clients. I was fired, and rightly so. A wonderful place. Would that I could cross its threshold again and feel the mist of luminous waters. In spite of my time there, I cannot do else but give it my highest recommendation. You will find the Luminous Bathhouse in Periki's Overlook. Akira, you want to follow the road north, up the mountain, always climbing. It is the Queen granted this area of the city to the Valian outsiders. Here they organize their business and trade.
digging up the archipelago with both hands and carrying riches overseas. In her welcoming embrace, the Queen allowed a similar concession to the Royal Deadfire Company. You would do well to see as much of Neketaka while you are here, I am thinking.
Merla, how is every ship hunter taken? I only deal with serious clients. Now, Shu. Not the business of answering questions, Nazenale. Madiko. But it is impossible to find skilled work when every competent freelancer wastes their shore leave in the wild mare. When blood travels south of their brains, the value of a good bounty is forgotten. You, a nameless face of the streets? I do not make a habit of shepherding new talent, but... there is a seed of potential. We will cut your teeth on Biakara, a Huana sailor and would-be patriot who... Gelarde! Biakara sails a voyager's scale of Tangaloa off of Hasongo's northeastern coast.
If you've come on business with the Valiant Trading Company, it will have to wait until morning. We're closed. There's no need for you to be here after hours. Moving on.
What do you need? Good thinking. What do you need?
Orso is lucky I did not take off his nose.
Laro has returned to the estate intact. Perfetto. Too much Bardato blood has been spilled in the name of Vengiata. Ak, Nothing has been solved, only delayed. Here, for your discretion. There can be no peace while civilized kith turn on each other.
Would that scandal and bloodshed kept their distance from my house. You saw my son dueling with the Valera boy. At least he survives to learn from his mistakes. When Valera and Bardato cross each other, only blood and sorrow remain. Perhaps in time, if great Wodica judges us worthy of supporting the company. Word has spread fast about the little spectacle of the dogs. You've certainly caught everyone's attention. Perhaps the Watcher of Cadnua and House Bardato can help one another. Queen's Beth whispers of a Valera plot against my family. Something grander than pointless duels. You are a newcomer to the Deadfire, uniquely positioned to loosen Valera tongues. Zilly Valera strums a lute by the watchtowers. A meek-tempered boy, fonder of song and drink than the family business. He might spill something of his family's affairs. Try not to alert the Valeras of our knowledge. That is the point of involving an outside agent. Because we do not belong in the same business. The Valeras are opportunists reaping the rewards of happenstance. They're little better than the pirates they're charged with slaying.
Better is self-deception, mayhaps.
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
You say I cannot down the rest? Watch me, amico. Madico, it is no wonder I thirst. Ado, why do you stare? Merla, and he hired muscle. Sientere, but you are too late to collect. A gang in the northern alley stole every coin. I cannot hire a crew, much less repay Zamar. Wizard lights drew me like a moth to the alley north of the wild mare. and the blow to the back of the head that followed, Merla, it hurt. Then a wolf sat on my chest while a group of thugs went through my pockets. Ah, it growled like a thunderstorm and drooled on my uniform. I stumbled back here and traded all I had left for the comforts of the mare. If they wanted Zamar to thirst for coin, it is possible. Botzos will regret it when I turn my cannons to their mast.
Those the cannons you'll be waiting for Zamar to cast you? Because I'd be seeing more holes in that plan than in any Principe mast's future or no.
When you got their leader, tell them Radora sent you.
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper. I assure you that everything I sell is well crafted. But I will admit I'm not quite the weaponsmith that Marihi is. Nor do I possess Uto's expertise with firearms. Marihi you can find in Pariki's Overlook, the district to the north. Uto has a shop in the Brass Citadel, in the eastern part of Nekataka. Lots to see. Take your time.
so she asked him. Calls that trick, and he says the Consueli.
What do you need?
You the one causing trouble in Cotter's neighborhood. I thought Remaro's pup kept better company.
Ahoy, friend. So you still be doing that old referring yourself by name thing? Would have thought it'd have cost you enough lays by now to be dropping that affect.
Cotter has not missed the sound of your voice, Seraphin. Your smoke and mirror ghosts do not impress Kaletzia, and they do not scare Cotter.
Sorry, Valian names all sound the same to me. Which one is the pretty wolf?
You'll know soon enough. Come, Planker. Cotter does not doubt his eyes. What do you want? Zamar has money problems. Cotter has solutions. The little man doesn't know how to count his coins. Cotter heard a newcomer was talking with Zamar.
Wrong play, Cotter. Let's be keeping this a friendly fucking chats. Lest the captain be calling your raise.
Look, Selezia. Your supper comes with blue fur. Tell the shipwright to accept Cotter's deal before he suffers another setback. Zamar can keep Principe ships afloat. Cotter tires of seeing his family sailing derelict wrecks.
You've got to ask, Cap. A Principe deal be the all-round winner. Zamar gets himself steady work, the pirates know they're looked after, and you and me get to shove off from this mess with a Principe favor in our hold. Charting another course risks running us aground of everyone's bad side.
Better that you listen to the hairy piglet. Cotter will see that his casita knows your name. There's also coin to spare. And Cotter will get you the Principe discount on Zamar's goods. Deal? Seletia, the throat!
Worse than rough!
Let's go.
I need help.
Lava.
Take him down.
This is futile.
Things fair?
That's Gotcha! That's not very helpful. This is futile.
No one knows. a bump on a... That dog won't... Let's go!
Yeah? Why not? Need something? Need something? Whatever you need. Only 'cause I like you.
Well, that's not nice. Guess that wasn't so hard.
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, I cap.
Yeah? Why not?
That'll...
Ado, over the din we had fighting to the north. Belfetto for the Republics. Zama is free to sell my commission. I must earn my way from the bottom. Agrasima, even in the oasis I am parched. If you grant wishes, there is a vacancy on my ship.
Yet another reminder that not every seaworthy vessel be crewed up to the standards of the sorcerer.
Sientere, Sere. Next time around the wheel, perhaps. The fun ran dry with the coin. When the dances...
Yeah? I trust you.
Not happening.
Ahoy there. Any news worth telling? Best news I've heard since I arrived on this rock. What of Captain Redora? Has she sobered up yet? Or do we need to shake her by her ankles? Robbed? Abidon's fist. Someone's feeling bold to prey on a captain in Queen's berth. Matters being what they are. Redora's commission is yours, if you can afford it. That'll be the Iron Thunderer. A cannon well-deserved of her name. Maybe she doesn't stand up to Rawatai standards, but she's got heart. For 1,000 pyres, she'll crack a hull, scour a sail, or splinter a deck like an imp with something to prove. 1,000 is plenty less than I offered the seasoned captain. My hands are tied. Sorry. You will? I mean, you will. Your vessel will spit fire like a worm with a belly full of fire kelp.
Have you any food? Surely you've a scrap to spare. Mercy, traveler. Never have I been so hungry. Thank you. I'll share it, I swear. Thank you, traveler. Always there is prize share. The pile has grown leaner these years. Little falls to our pile that is not rotten or sour from this week and maybe before. Forgive me, I say too much. If you would know more, ask Anoi. Our elder listens to those in need, and he speaks. Out of earshot of the guards. He's there. In the house to the right when you cross the bridge. He can speak of the hunger. The gullet is a lawless place. Forgotten. The only authority here is the Matarus, and they don't work on our behalf. But if it is a wise man you want, seek Anoi in his home. He tries to keep us safe and fed. He does not always succeed, but he does try. Trying.
They took him. For what? Bataro's the second this month.
And they say the pittings are increasing. Do they lie to themselves or just to us?
Please, I did nothing.
Enough. Or do you wish to consign her to the old city as well?
Let him go!
Beer, I'm sorry.
Your tongue flops like a dying fish. I tire of its stink. Lower him down!
May Tangaloa devour your souls, you cold-blooded eels.
Be careful. The gullet is no place for outsiders.
When I was little, me and my brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
Oh, we did that sometimes. Only my brother usually had a hand in the bleeding.
He older or younger than you? Either way, I bet he's just as strapping.
Older. Was older. Then Raid Sarah's invaded.
Oh, I didn't... I mean, of course, it's gone, but I'm so sorry.
Something I can do?
You go in first!
So you defeated this ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes.
Something I can do?
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company Vipers. Take care you are not bitten. You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
Huck, I know this one. Her parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Ganta Nichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with her that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take 2 Valians at their word?
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo, set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawataian outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am?
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino. Go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Hamed Kongswalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew. Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Oh, good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me.
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. And take care with your trading company spies.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. Let's... While we have the chance.
Fall in on my position. Not bad. Okay? At once.
Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena, not the court. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Royal service can keep your galley stocked. My sister keeps a tight grip on the kataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence? Take this if you need proof. Akira, you are sharper than my guards for knowing this, I say. An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nakataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nakataka has a pirate problem. Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city.
You think pirates raiding those Republic's bastards be the source of your people's agony? Wonder what the gullet folk would be thinking of that. Sir.
Anyone who preys on my people will know Onikaza's justice in time, I say. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city. It will depend on what you find, I say. Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. While she worries about the manor, I tidy up the basement. It must take keen senses to peer through the veil. Others will miss the details that stand out to you, I'm thinking. Yours is not a face that others will recognize. Let no one learn that you work for the crown. When you travel down the mountain, seek Takehu and Pariki's overlook. He is a godlike, one who the people look to for hope. Ngati's chosen knows of our troubles. He could also use a lesson in Raparu modesty. Takehu was touched by the goddess Ngati at birth. He is as much a creature of the sea as he is Hawana. We are left to interpret what the goddess intends by sending him among us. Akira, if I know Takehu, he is stirring tempers in the Water Shapers Guild. Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess. What say?
Deadfire's so different than what I'm used to. It must be for you, too.
Ah, quite different. Even I am not accustomed to this much sailing.
They seem to hold the godlike in high regard. You ever think about staying?
The Dukes have liberated me from the burden of making that choice, Adair. I am ready. Of course.
Now, what can I do for you? You're in luck, friend. The Wild Mare employs a number of courtesans skilled in satisfying a wide range of tastes and interests. You'll find them upstairs. They handle their own coin, too, so you're in luck. You'll find them upstairs. You see any... Die.